Hi everybody, welcome to Tech Growth Stocks channel. Today I give you 5 top clean energy stocks for March 2021. So these clean energy stocks have good growth and good momentum, and the clean energy space has been coming back over the last 3 trading weeks heavily, so they offer attractive price points at the moment. So it definitely pays if you watch that video until the end and have a look at all of these strong clean energy stocks. So before I start right off with the first green stock, I have to make a short disclaimer. This video does not constitute financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes only, so please consider that. And also one more quick note, please subscribe now to my channel with a link in the description below and hit the notifications bell so that going forward you do not miss any market leading stocks from me. So please subscribe now. Okay, so that was it for the intro. So let's start right off with the first top green energy stock for March 2021. And as you can see it in the chart, it is LAC, Lithium Americas. Here you can see the long-term chart of Lithium Americas. And as you can see, from let's say around end of 2017, Lithium Americas was in a downtrend, and then we had here a break of the downtrend. We traded to the upside in starting 2020, but then again we had a breakdown together with the Corona breakdown in Lithium Americas, and we made a March 2020 low in lithium, and then we reversed from that low, traded to the upside, broke the downtrend and formed a nice and strong uptrend since then. And you can see in the long-term chart here as well, for instance, in that recent uptrend, we had here support. For instance, here we had support at the 50-day. Here again, we had support at the 50-day. We had a bounce. And here again, we had here support at the 100-day, and we had a bounce to the upside. And now it looks like we are bouncing off around, let's say, you could say, let's say we are bouncing off the 150-day, the orange line here, to the upside. So I think the current level is attractive and for a position. And when we look in the short-term chart, we see a nice uptrend, strong uptrend, and here we see that bounce of the 100-day to the upside, a very strong move, and now we came back as well heavily, and now it looks like we are bouncing of the 150-day to the upside again. And when we look at the growth characteristics for lithium, the EPS growth, it's sluggish, it's minus 62%, but the relative strength rating, it's good with 89. So I think still with that of a good relative strength rating, and in this hot clean energy space, which has been a very strong performer over the last year, I think lithium is definitely a top green energy stock for March 2021. Okay, so that was it for Lithium Americas. So now let's have a look at the next green energy stock, and it is RUN, Sunrun. Here you can see the long-term chart of Sunrun, and as you can see, Sunrun is a quite young company. It had its IPO in August 2015, and why does that matter? Because this super performing stocks make their strongest runs in their first 10 years after their IPOs. So it definitely pays if you watch out for young companies, because they could have very huge runs going forward. And Sunrun could be one of them. And you see after its IPO, it had a downtrend here, but then it found a bottom and it formed an uptrend, and then we had a quite volatile sideways period with ups and downs. And the low of that sideways period, the recent low, was in March 2020 when we had the Corona breakdown in Sunrun, but we reversed from that low together with the overall market, traded to the upside, and we formed a nice and strong uptrend since then. And in the short-term chart now, you see Sunrun. We have been moving sideways for some time now. Currently, we are trading at the lows of that sideways moving phase, or near the lows. So I think currently we are having an attractive entry point for Sunrun. We are not too high in the stock, And when we look at the growth characteristics, I mean, the EPS growth, it's sluggish. It's minus 440%. But the sales growth, it's okay with plus 14%. And the relative strength rating, it's okay as well with 84. So I think with these characteristics, Sunrun is still a top green energy stock for March 2021. And also, by the way, so this is part 2 of the top green energy stocks for March 2021. If you missed part 1, have a look on my channel. This is a must-watch video if you are into green energy stocks. So definitely have a look on my channel if you like these kinds of stocks. Okay, so this was it for Sunrun. So now let's have a look at the next top green energy stock for March 2021. And as you can see, it is ENPH, Enphase. Here you can see the long-term chart of Enphase, and as you can see, I mean, let's say from around May 2015 until 30th of May 2017. I mean, over 2 years, Sunrun was in a long-term downtrend, and then we made the low in May 2017. We reversed from that low, traded to the upside. We broke the downtrending moving averages and formed a nice and very strong uptrend since then. I mean, this is kind of a nice strong uptrend in Enphase, what we are seeing here. And when we have a look in the long-term uptrend, I mean, we are bouncing off these moving averages quite often. I mean, you can see it. For instance, here we bounce off the green line, the 100-day. A couple of bounces here of the 50-day. Then we had a bigger correction here, but we bounced off the 250 days a couple of times here, and then the final strong up leg. Yeah, we see that here and here. Also a couple of bounces here. You see of the 50-day. Of the 50-day again. Then we traded down to the 200-day moving average. I mean, here you can see it, a bounce of the 200-day, traded to the upside. Here we had a bounce of the 250-day, the blue line, to the upside, traded to the upside. Here a bounce of the, let's say, around 100-day and 150-day, traded to the upside. I mean, we had quite a lot of bounces here, and currently we came back, and looks like we are currently bouncing of the 150-day. I think soon we could continue with the uptrend in Enphase. And so I think still the current level, we are trading a little bit above the 150-day. I think it's attractive for a position in Enphase. And so I think from a technical standpoint, Enphase is looking great here. It's in a strong uptrend and we are having a bounce. We are not getting in at a high price. So this is looking very good. And when we look at the EPS growth, I mean, it's a little bit sluggish. It's minus 8%. But the sales growth, it's okay with plus 13%. And the relative strength rating, it's okay as well with 86. So with these characteristics, I think Enphase is definitely a top green energy stock for March 2021. Okay, so that was it for Enphase. So now we come to the next top clean energy stock. And it is, as you can see in the charts, Bloom Energy, BE. And you can see as well, Bloom Energy was an IPO in July 2018. After its IPO, it had a nice short up leg, but it could not continue with the uptrend. No, it formed a downtrend, and this can happen quite often with IPOs. They can trade into long-term downtrends, and this is what we are seeing here with Bloom Energy. I mean, it came back from, let's say, from when it started trading around $18, it traded down to, let's say, $3 or below $3, around $3. I mean, this is kind of a big correction, yeah. I mean, this is kind of a big loss. So you be prepared if you trade young companies. They are risky, and they are not without risk. And always protect yourself from risk. This is a very important lesson, and we can see it here in Bloom Energy. And yeah, and then we made the low in with that overall correction in October 2019. We reversed from that low, from the nice new long-term uptrend. And last year, yeah, we had to get with the overall market, the Corona breakdown in Bloom Energy as well. We made the low in March 2020, and we reversed from these lows and traded to the upside, and we formed the nice new uptrend. And I think still it's early in the stocks run, in Bloom Energy stock run. So I think for a position, Bloom Energy could be attractive. And in the short-term chart, yeah, we see here, we see the uptrend, and yeah, and for instance, also when we look here in the long-term chart, here we had a bounce of the green line traded to the upside. Here we had a bounce of the orange line, that 150-day moving average traded to the upside, and now we came back again to the orange line. So I think we could see a bounce and a continuation of the overall uptrend in Bloom Energy. And yeah, recently you see here we came back quite heavily in Bloom Energy. So the entry level at the moment, it's attractive. It's not too high. And I mean, the green energy space, I think it has a lot of room to run. I mean, with all these, it's kind of crazy at the moment with all these people who want to get on board, or all these big funds and investors, these big institutional investors, and also the regulatory environment. I mean, it's supportive for clean energy stocks and green energy stocks. So I think it's an exciting time for positions in these kinds of stocks. And when we look at the EPS scores for Bloom Energy, I mean, it's sluggish. It's minus 65%. And the sales scores, it's a little bit sluggish with minus 4%. But the relative strength rating, it's okay with 85. And it's a young company in a nice uptrend. So I think Bloom Energy is definitely a top green energy stock for March 2021. Okay, so that was it for Bloom Energy. So now we come to the last top green energy stock for March 2021 for today. And as you can see it in the charts, it is REGI, Renewable Energy. Here you can see the long-term chart of renewable energy, and as you can see, I mean, renewable energy, I mean, it was here, it was trading down, then like a cap, then we had a breakout from that cap, yeah, long-term cap, and yeah, strong up leg. But then we had a strong correction here as well. We made a low with that last strong correction in August 2019. We reversed from these lows and we formed a long-term uptrend since then. Nice strong long-term uptrend. And we can see here as well, we had bounces of the key moving averages. For instance, here a bounce around the 250-day, we traded to the upside here of the 200-day, a bounce to the upside. Then here, for instance, a bounce of the 50-day, and now looks like we came back to the 150-day, the orange line, and looks like we could have a bounce as well in renewable energy. And in the short-term chart, we see that nice uptrend. In that uptrend, we see here a period of pause, a base building phase, a breakout of that base, strong up movement, and yeah, here we see as well, we came back heavily in renewable energy, and I think the entry levels at the moment are attractive. And when we look at the growth characteristics, I mean, the EPS growth, it's sluggish, it's minus 175%, and the sales growth, it's a little bit sluggish, it's minus 2%, but the relative strength rating, it's okay with 85. So I think with these, with this of a nice uptrend, and also in that hot green energy sector, I think REGI, or renewable energy, is still a top green energy stock for March 2021. Okay, I hope in that video are some nice green energy stocks which you can use for your research. And also please subscribe now to my channel with a link in the description below, and hit the notifications bell so that going forward you do not miss any market leading stocks from me. So please subscribe now. And thank you for watching that video, and I think this year will be an exciting stock trading and investing year, with all that fiscal and monetary stimulus going on around the world from all of these central banks and governments. I think in the end it will flow into the stock market and will propel stock prices higher and higher. So I think it definitely pays if you invest your time in making the best stock selections for your portfolios. And if you need some good stocks, definitely come back to my channel. This channel is about the best stocks in the market, the best momentum and growth names. which offer the huge potential going forward. So definitely come back, feel free to come back and join me in my upcoming videos, or have a look at my old videos. For instance, I have videos about the best tech growth stocks, the best tech momentum stocks. I have about genomic stocks, the best genomic stocks, or for instance the best solar stocks, and so on. Have a look. Maybe there are some nice stocks and stock themes on my channel which you could use for your research. And again, thank you for watching that video, and I hope to see you again soon. Cheers.